Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sindy V King. I am a creator of Calling in My King. I help transform women to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, transactional analysis, and neuroscience so that she becomes the queen of love. So today we want to be talking about never apologize for your mistakes. And there's a difference between apologizing and making amending in a relationship, because when you mix up the two, there is a big difference. I find that there's just too many empty meanings of just apologizing for the sake of apologizing. I'm all about talking about being virtue, and I love the whole idea of like making a commitment when you apologize as well. Yes, there is a proper way of doing it, and I have done research about this, and I love to share what I have found based on how you apologize and what's the difference when you're amending a relationship. Yes, it is possible that you didn't know that you made a mistake, or you weren't aware of your situation and you thought that you're just being yourself. And sometimes that does happen, that you didn't know and you're just being yourself, and you can totally offend somebody in that way through your action, or it could be through your words. So in that case, I'm going to break down exactly how to apologize, and I'm going to tell you guys the difference at the very end as well. And I'm letting you know that nobody's perfect, and we all make mistakes from time there, and every relationship is different. And you can hurt somebody through your behavior, and it could be an action with intention or non-intention. But what's really important here is that you show remorse over your action. Right? You acknowledge that you hurt somebody's based on your action or words that you use that cause them to be triggered, and it's a little bit complex. The reason why you want to apologize, number one, it really helps open a dialogue. What brings them, what triggers the person? Be able to talk about the situation instead of under the rug. And it's about that pink elephant. You want to talk about it, and it's going to help trust, even a potential bonding. You acknowledge, number two, acknowledge that your behavior wasn't okay with them. And they weren't okay with you. Number three is you really want to build trust, reestablishing your relationship with the one person that you hurt with, and it's really important to do that, building bridges instead of burning bridges. Number four is sincere apology shows that you really want to take responsibility for your action and restore the integrity. Okay? What happens when you don't apologize? Here's you can actually, number one, you can damage the relationship, and that could be either a relationship with your coworker, your clients, your friends, your romantic relationship, even your family as well. And when you do that, you're sabotaging the potential of really building a long-term relationship with the individual. Number two is a really big one. It really hurts your reputation, and that can affect your career opportunity of you working with potentially a business or somebody else, your referrals as well. But you can definitely break a relationship as well. It could be a deal breaker for some people, and other may not want to work with you. That's the big thing. Number three, you are going to notice that there is going to be a pattern of this as well in your relationship when you don't apologize. You can start seeing the same sort of situation comes up over and over with different people. And you're hurting the potentially to create long-term relationship. We talk about why is it hard to apologize, and I have seen this over time again in relationship. People don't want to apologize because they simply, it takes courage to do it. And admitting that you are wrong is another big factor. Number two is it could be very scary at times, and you can feel very vulnerable, letting your guard down, and which could be very scary at most of the time. Opening up to the whole idea of like being attacked or being blamed on is part of it as well. But it start with a conversation. How can you make the relationship better, right? That's why you're apologizing. There is a lot of shame when it comes to apologizing, and it could be very embarrassing for the action that you did or you said something, and you can't bring it to yourself to face it. So that could be a one factor why people don't want to apologize. And if you have ever been in a situation where you receive an apology, it could be hard at times for sure. And if you're still in the hurt feeling moment, or if you're giving an apology to another person, it's a two-way dialogue, right? It's not all giving and receiving, so it could be a two-way stream. But why you want to apologize and the benefit of apologizing. And what's the difference from amending a relationship? So if you made a mistake, an error that you didn't even know, you want to make amending in the relationship. So that means what you need to do, what kind of action to take on the responsibility of what you just did. Okay? So it could be if you forgot to close the door, maybe you want to make amendment of the relationship. Or you went on a date, you set up a date, but you forgot about it, you make up for those dates, right? So taking action is a big factor. I want to talk about apologizing as well. There are steps and ways how to apologize. So how to apologize appropriately. So the first one obviously is all about being remorse. So you can start out with saying, I am sorry, or I am apologizing for, and whatever the course of action you're self-aware. If you're not aware of it, this is really important to open that discussion on why you are apologizing for, so that it does sound sincere. I think it's really important. A lot of the time when people apologize, they're just saying, I'm sorry for the sake of, just keeping the peace. But what are you sorry for? Maybe you have that open discussion. How do we prevent this from going further on? Okay, so, and number 2 is taking responsibility for what you said. So that's what I was referring to, the action part for what you did wrong, right? So it's very specifically. And number 3, always amending, make the situation right. So this is taking action at this point, and you're making a promise and a commitment here that you are doing this. If you're doing this for a token of gesture or empty promise, this is not a good way to build a relationship. There's just too many people are breaking promises, and if you clearly can't give a simple something that you can do, and if that's going to be okay with the other partner, you're having this conversation, you're negotiating what is reasonable. Okay, so step 4 is all about making a commitment, making a promise that this is not going to happen again. So for now stage, you can rebuild trust by making a commitment that you wouldn't repeat this action again. So I think that's really has to be really clear in your mind as well. When you say things from now on, I'm going to learn how to control my anger. I'm going to go see a counselor. I promise that I'm going to do my very best. If it's such a sensitive topic, I'm going to flag you. I'm going to let you know that I'm getting agitated, angry, and we need to stop this conversation before I escalate. Is that something that is going to be okay with you? So this is holding you accountable and holding the other person accountable, because you are making an agreement with this. You are 100% accountable for the commitment that you make and keep. If you make a promise and you're going to change this behavior, but you don't follow through, other people will start questioning you, and your reputation will be on the line, and you're considered to be not trustworthy. So just be careful when you are clearly stating this. I know when you're angry, when you're mad, you can't really think about this, but sometimes you just have to go, you know what, I'm really upset right now. What I'm gonna do is, I need to think about what I need to say to you before I totally blow up the situation where it doesn't need to go to. I'm going to come back to you and we can reevaluate this conversation. Is that okay with you? Right? And you can give a timeline. Give me 24 hours. Give me a day. Give me, like, people want to know, when are we going to have this conversation? And people expect that, right? So if you're not ready within 24 hours, renegotiate. I need more time, right? I think it's really important to open this discussion, because when you don't open this discussion, people tend to get, you know, really agitated and they start to sabotage and start playing game and become drama. And it's not needed in this lifetime, and you don't need drama. You really want to create lasting love here, and that's all about that. I really hope you have learned something about here. Take one or two pieces. I know it's a long video, and I really hope that something that you take away from this and try it out in your relationship. And I would love to hear what you have to, if you have done this and if it has resolved in your relationship, or if you want to practice on like how to apologize properly, you can always write it down. I obviously will respond back to you if there's some sort of tweaking that I think it could help you in your relationship. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed the formula. I had so much fun actually writing the script and filming this for you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.